Yeah, I'm the king of these. When comic book writers first dreamed up Iron Man, look at this. Remember that? 3 decades ago? It was just, science fiction stuff. It's serious now. It's now starting to look like science fact. All right, many companies are right now developing the technology to create the G.I. Joes of tomorrow, and they'll have much more high-tech gear to fight the enemy and protect themselves. So is this the soldier of the future? Let's turn now to Chris Osborne, a reporter with Defense News. Chris, the super soldier, the Army's already working on it. It's in development. It's called the Ground Soldier Ensemble. Tell us about it.
Good morning, Greg. Yes, thank you very much for having me. Without question, there are a lot of cutting-edge technologies in development right now, some of them testing very well, which call upon some of these technologies that are displayed in something like Iron Man, increased sensors. In some cases, for projections 20, 30 years down the road, they're looking at exoskeleton-type ensembles, where a soldier will wear an armored suit of sorts that's powered by hydraulic fluid and valves powered by an engine to increase strength. But in a more immediate sense, which you mentioned with Ground Soldier Ensemble, what soldiers will have is a helmet-mounted display screen. Well, they'll be able to look in real time at their location and the location of every other member in their troop.
Is that done with what, GPS and other software, and then it plants a display on their helmet, and they can, they can look up close at a battlefield or over a building and find the enemy?
That's exactly right. The display camera is a GPS digital display map where they're able to look at icons. They can even clear a building and put a light on that display, showing a chem light, if you will, so they don't have to go back through the same building. Also, Ground Soldier Ensemble calls upon something called software programmable radio, which is a way that IP packets of information are sent in real time across the force. Now, early versions of this ensemble, called Land Warrior, have already fielded in Iraq and received great reviews. A convoy, for instance, can look at a GPS display and see where they are in relation to where they were and where they're going, how much fuel they're going to need, things like that.
They're also, as I understand it, trying to develop drugs that improve a soldier's cognitive ability, and also sensors on the body that alert commanders when, you got a soldier who's completely exhausted, right?
Indeed, I have heard of those. And one of the things that I can tell you about where this Ground Soldier Ensemble is looking to go is that down the road, they'll be able to look at a little icon on a screen, and possibly the dismounted soldier pull up a live video from a nearby UAV or a nearby robot. Yeah. Right now, vehicles are doing this in testing. Right now, there are initial point-to-point communications that approximate this effect. But in just a few years, a kind of networked idea is beginning to take shape. And the real thrust of this is, let's put the soldier in the center of the battlefield network so that the dismounted infantrymen, especially in a place like Afghanistan, when small units are climbing all over the place, they want the dismounted soldier to be just as connected as command centers and vehicles.
And it's not just soldiers on the ground, but I've been reading about, in development now, hypersonic missiles 7 times the speed of sound, and lasers that we're already working on those that could knock out Kim Jong-il's missiles or Ahmadinejad's.
Oh, absolutely. There's a program that was called the Airborne Laser, which was a combination of 3 different very high-tech lasers designed to eliminate the boost phase of an approaching or launching enemy missile. Secondly, as you point out, a lot of laser technology on the battlefield, everything from semi-active lasers for a Hellfire so that it goes to a point in space and then looks for the laser spot, homes in on the target, to things like the non-line-of-sight launch system, which is a next-generation series of missiles which can change course in flight.
It's really incredible stuff. It's here now. It's expensive, which invites the question, can we afford it? We'll leave that for another time. Chris Osborne, Defense News reporter, thanks so much for being with us this Memorial Day.
A pleasure to talk to you.